Right, good morning. Here we go. I'm going to look today at the stats and probability sections of the course. The questions which are definitely going to come up, if I can just pull the tabs so you can see them. So I think grouped mean will definitely come up. Problems involving mean and other things. Go to that tab, it's mean, median mode and all that sort of thing. Cumulative frequency will definitely come up. Those are the three I'm going to concentrate on this morning. There's also a possibility of more conditional probability type questions. Okay, these are really quite hard probability. You can see, look at the numbers. They're normally 16, 16, 15, 19, 20. So those of you aiming for 8s and 9s ought to have a good go at that. But most of you should be concentrating on these three topics. Get these three topics nailed. And if you don't know them already, that's an extra 10 marks, or even almost 2 grades in GCSE. So let's get on with that, and we'll do the grouped mean question first. And let's have a look, not at that one. Let's go to the second question here, because it has a little extra question which comes up quite a lot. I'll give you 2 minutes to have a go at that. Great. Okay, so let's have a look at this. We've got a table that gives information about the number of days 100 cars are in the airport. Write down the modal class. And that's the one where you have the biggest frequency, the one that happens most often. So we go for our frequencies and we see here we've got a frequency of 27. So that's the class 12 is less than or equal to 15. So that's how you do the modal class. Now, to work out the estimate for the mean number of days, common mistakes, add these numbers up and divide by 5 because there's 5 groups. Well, that's not how you do the mean. Remember, the mean is the total number of things divided by how many things there are. Now, there's 100 cars, not 5. There's 100 cars. And that's the total of your frequency. Your frequency adds up to 100. Frequency gives you how many things there are. I'm just going to rub this out so it's working. Okay, so what we've got to do is there's 16 things here, all between 0 and 4. We don't know what any of those 16 things are. We just know they're between 0 and 4. So we estimate them by using the midpoint. So we're going to guess that all those 16 things are roughly equal to 2. And then we do the midpoint here 6, midpoint here 10, midpoint here 14, midpoint here 18. So those become our midpoints. And basically what we do is we times these all together and add them up. So we do 2 times 16 plus 6 times 18. 18 in there plus we've got 10 times 19 plus 14 times 7 plus 18 20, and we're going to divide all of that by 100 to get our answer. So we grab our calculator and we add those all up. I'm not going to do that on calculator, I've done this already. So we've got 1068 is our total over 100, and that gives us an answer of 10 days. Now basically all these questions are exactly the same as that one. So you've got that 1, 2 more to practice, do that in your own time. Remember what I said in yesterday's stream, I've copied, these are all blanks, and these are all the ones with the answers, so you can do them with the blanks and then go check the answers, okay, up here, right? So if you download this notebook, you can get them from there. What we're going to do is we're going to look at some more problems solving. So we're going to jump to this section. Let's just bigger. Okay, so let's have a look at this question. It's a 2-marker. So let's give you, let me have a look at this one. We'll give you 2 minutes to have a go. Okay, so let's look at this question. So we know the mean of x, 10 and y is 11. So we know that x plus 10 plus y divided by 3 equals 11. So let's just change that around a bit. X plus y plus 10 times by 3 gives me 33. So I get x plus y is equal to 23. I guess it's a little bit simpler. Now I also know that the range of x, 10 and y is 7. They're written in order of size. So the biggest one is y and the smallest one is x. So y minus x will equal 7. I'm going to just bring this over here because I like to write them next to each other. Now what we notice is the x's have different signs. If you remember yesterday from simultaneous equations, you've got different signs. You add them together to cancel. We could take away and get rid of the y's, but it'd be much easier if you add these together to cancel the x's, because then you have no negatives going on. So y plus y is y. 7 plus 23 is 30. So y equals 15. And we know that, well, we can do it either way. X plus y equals 23. So take 15 away from 23 and we get x 8. Okay, let's just have a look at the next question. Another little problem going on here, but with range and median. See how you get on with this. Give you another couple of minutes to have a go. Okay, so let's have a look at this question. We need to put these in order of size first. Can't do anything with this until you put them in order of size because you can't find the middle values or the quartiles. So we know we've got 0, cross off the numbers as you go along, 4, 6, 9. Something going wrong with my pen, but let's keep going. 17. Really does not want to register. 21. Just going to quickly close down the OneNote. Open it again. For 17, we had 21. Hopefully I haven't missed any out with doing all that. 32, 1, 69, and 102. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if we find the middle value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is going to be the middle value of 11. And then we want to split these into two halves. So there's the 6, that then gives you two numbers in between the lower quartile and the median. And then we split this up, so you've got 2 and 2. So you've got everything split up into even parts. And so therefore the interquartile range is going to be 51 minus 6, which equals 45. Just remember, put the numbers in order of size, find the middle value, then that gives you one half and another half, then split the other half into even bits, and then you get your two quartiles. Right, here we go, a weighted mean question. Okay, let's see if you can spot how to do this. It shouldn't take more than a minute if you know what you're doing. So let's give you a minute to have a crack, and then I'll go through it. Okay, so let's have a look at this. We've got 28 students in Class A and 32 students in Class B. The mean score, all the students in both classes, is 72. The mean score for Class A is 75. So we know that the mean of all the students, so 60 students. So those students in total will score 60 times 72.6 to get 4356 for the total marks for both classes. Now we know that there's 28 in Class A, so they will score a total of 28 times 75, which gives us 2,100 for them. So if we take that away, that'll give us the marks for the other class. So we get 6, we get 5, we get 2, we get 2. So we get 2,556. So the mean for those students is 2,256 divided by the 32 students in that class, which comes out at 5. Right, the second part of this question, a clever little range question. I'll give you 1 minute to think about that. I'll quick read and I'll start the timer now. Okay, so let's have a look at it. We got lowest score in Class A is 39. We know the range of scores is 57, so therefore the highest score will be 39 plus 57, which gives me 96. And for Class B, we know the lowest score is 33, and the range of scores is 60, so therefore if we add on 60, we get the highest score in Class B. So the lowest score for the two classes was 33, and the highest score for the two classes was 96. Therefore, the range for both classes will be 96 minus 33, which equals 3. Now, we're going to have a little bit of look at cumulative frequency. So let's go to the top of the page and look at this question. This is a very, very important. Okay, look at this, 4 marks. It's definitely going to come up, and it's actually 8 marks in this question. Okay, and then the next question it's 5 marks. The next question it's 5 marks, and the next question is 5 marks. So if it's not a question you know, it's definitely going to award you at least 5 marks come paper 2. All right, that's walking into an exam with an extra 5 marks to what you get if you don't know frequency. Make sure you know it, because you don't. If you've forgotten it, you don't want to forget this topic because it's worth a lot. Now, there's 8 marks here on this question. It doesn't take 8 minutes to do. I'll give you 3 minutes to get your best go on it. Then we'll see how you've done and go through it then. Right, so let's have a look at this question, cumulative frequency. Now, the key thing is to remember that it's a little bit different. Let's just bigger again and start the page. So the key thing to remember that unlike what we did with the Groot means where we use midpoints, common mistake on this is to think about midpoints, and it's not midpoints you're going to be thinking about with cumulative frequency. Now the first thing to do is get the cumulative frequency right, and simply all you're doing is the clue is in the word cumulative. You add them up as you go along. So add 36 onto 10, you get 46. Add 34 to 46, you get 80. Then we get 100, 150, and 120. And if your numbers don't add up to the same as the total number, then you've made a mistake. So always check. When you finish, you could just chuck all these into your calculator, add them all up, make sure you get the same answer if they haven't given you the total at the beginning of the question. So you can always double check you haven't made any mistakes. Very common to be out by a 10 somewhere when you're doing this. Okay, and then we plot. Where do we plot? We plot at the biggest value. Okay, we plot against these values because all we know that is there was 10 in that group. So there must be 10 less than 100. We know there's 36 in that group and 10 in that group. So this 46 means we know that there's 46 between 0 and 200. The only thing we know is by the time we get to 200, we've seen all these 46 values. So we plot it at 200 and so on and so on and so on. It makes sense. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. If I can just do the plotting a bit accurately. Plot those values on here. So we're going to plot at 100, we're going to plot 10. And then at 200, we're going to plot 46. There's 50 there. There's 46. 300, we're going to plot 80. And then at 400, we're going to plot 100. 500, we're going to plot 115. I haven't done 115 right, have I? There was just something in my head that told me something was wrong because I remember back to this one where the middle point was 50. So that's going to be 110. So 115 is actually going to be. And then we're going to have 120 here. And the tricky bit when doing this on screen is to get my smooth curve through. I've missed. Okay, and the key thing when you're doing it is to make sure, actually I'm going to do it again, is to make sure you get through all the points. You get marks for going through the points you've plotted. Really quite important. Okay, that's much. Right, so I've now got myself a graph. Zoom out again. Question. Use your graph to find an estimate of the interquartile range. Now remember, the clue is in the title, quarters. And it's always a frequency we're looking at. So we want to go to the quarters. Well, the middle quarter, the median, is at 60, but we don't need that. We need to know the lower quartile will be at 30. We look across and we find what value will give us that quartile. Okay? And then we go to, so the next one is going to be at 90, the upper quartile. So the quartiles plus the median, divide your data up into quarters. That is the clue. I want to go down this. Yeah, I just made a little. I want to finish up there. Without a ruler, that's my best effort there. So what we get is, we get this value is about 170 here. And this value here is about 350, 340 on mine. Okay, it might be 350. So long as you draw on your graph, okay, then you'll get follow through marks. So you're showing all the working. So we do 340 minus 170. So on my graph, it's 170. So the mark scheme will probably give you plus or 10, maybe even plus or 20, minus 20 for this. Okay, so don't worry about not getting it right. So long as you draw the lines on the graph, show the numbers, okay, then you get all the follow through marks if you make a mistake. just not quite lining up quite properly because the curve wasn't quite right. So there is some, usually in the examiners give you a leeway of plus or minus 10, plus or minus 20 on a question like this. Usually got to estimate numbers that we spend more than £450. So let's look at 450. So it's this line going up here. Then we draw a line going across here. Okay, so that's 450. And we get to a value of about 100 and what's that? Minus 108 there. Now, common mistake here to write down 108. That's not the right answer. More than 450 is these people. Okay, this part of the graph. So it's these people here. So it's only going to be 12. Okay, in my graph. I just noticed I'm looking at a colleague's answers and they've got 14. For my graph, I got 12, but it's just the way I've drawn it. Them. So you can see you'll get a plus or minus 2, maybe even 4 on this. Depends on what they think might be. They'll have drawn several graphs and worked out a leeway for what you'll get. Okay, but so long as you've drawn this line, you pretty much get both those marks. So what we've done, we've just covered everything on cumulative frequency there, just about. The only thing we haven't looked at is the median. If you were to find the median is this value here. If you look it up and you'd find out, and it's about 250. Okay, it's roughly 250 on this graph. So I just thought, I'm not going to go through a whole nother question just to teach you how to find the median. You can go and have a look at some questions. So you can see there's all these other extra questions, median values, cumulative frequency, and some percentage questions. But what you can do, once you've had a go at those, you can then check them against the model answers, which these have been written by my colleagues, okay, and checked against the smart scheme. So go away, do that. I think that's all we'll do for this morning. Okay, that's plenty for you to get done. If you get those 3 topics sorted, okay. For those of you in the sort of 4, 5, 6 boundary, you've done a lot to push yourself up to 6 or even a 7. If you get those 3. Good. Okay. Good luck with that. Remember, what was a really good idea is you had this lesson in the morning, you had to go at these questions. Next, have a go at them tomorrow. Get a sleep between revision sessions. Puts things into your memory a lot more. If you've got anything wrong, you must do it again. And if you, tomorrow, when you have another go at it, if you get them wrong, put them to one side and have another go the next day. So you get them right. And you'll be ready for good luck.